What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Subsistence and the Half a House. That's the name of the episode. It's called the Half a House. So we have half a house, just over actually, if you want to be technical. But looking at the building, you can actually see that you can pick them up and destroy them. So I'm just turning them around to all be the right way for anybody that's bothered by that. But I was a little bit as well. So by holding delete, you can dismantle the item, and that gets rid of it totally and gives you, I believe, half the resources back. If you hold the end button, and that's the default for me, you can pick it up and in fact move it elsewhere. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just struggling a lot, as you can see, with the actual placement of these, getting them to snap, but it is doable and I do it. And I just want to make sure that all of the various different wood planks or floors, ceilings, etc. are indeed facing the right way. And then we'll look at the resources we have to complete the build. Remember that winter is coming, and it'll be my first winter. So I want to make sure that I've got a house that actually has a full roof and walls and a door. The windows stay open as far as I'm aware. There is nothing you can do about that, so unless you're not supposed to have windows, you can't put anything in the windows. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Of course I'm going to try and turn this round, but I'm going to have to move it elsewhere to do so. So with that sorted, we can now look at going out again and making sure we've got what we need. The base is complete in terms of the walls now. Put a lot more windows in than walls, just so you can see out. I'm pretty sure that's a bad idea because obviously enemies can shoot through windows as well as me shooting out of them. But and also it means that they can chuck things like grenades or whatever they can have inside the building easier. But it's just nicer and more visually appealing for everybody to get to see outside. So let's go on the hunt and figure out what we can get now. We want to make sure we've got a supply of wood and fibre at all times. And again, because winter is on the way, the only way that I'm aware of that we can keep warm is by keeping the fire going. There are heat packs, and the heat packs require... it's rotten meat, and I think it's the medicinal herbs. The medicinal herbs aren't too bad to get, but the rotten meat is more difficult. Not because of what it is, because it's very easy to obviously get meat and then let it rot. But the reality is getting the meat and then having your meat full that you can waste it and let it go off. Very often I find that I'm struggling for the foods, especially fruit and vegetables, but meat's not the easiest thing to come by. Obviously, killing a wolf with a shotgun is nice and easy. It's one bullet right to the head, job done. But a shotgun shell is pretty significant in terms of resources to make. At least when I'm using them on hunters, they usually give me one back. So I'm kind of following a trail here, where I keep getting, like you've just seen, blueberries, and then we're getting a chest for building materials, and then a chest for health as well, though that was behind me, but then I'm bumping into fibre. I'm sort of not planning on going anywhere specific, but what I am doing is going from one loot chest to the next. That's proving quite well, quite good, right? I mean, it's the easiest way to get resources than making them, because making them is very expensive. And as you can see straight away, another fibre, and then looking up. Now that is one of the hunter's bases. It looks safe so far. Now, what I have realised from the hunters is, yes, you can kill them and then you get their loot from their backpack. But from the base, actually killing the base is almost impossible until much later on. You have to destroy the base command unit, the BCU, in order to actually remove them, and that requires a tool because doing it any other way is just ridiculous. But when they get quite a lot further on, I have noticed that their bases actually do have chests. You can knock the door down. It takes a while, but you can knock the door down, and they do have chests that you can loot. And in the chests is very lucrative so far. I've still not been able to make a lockpick, so I've not been able to open one of them lockpick chests yet. So I'm not sure how good those are. And then the only other ones that I'm aware of that are out of our reach are the ones from the aeroplane crash. And of course, them you can just break open with a pickaxe or an axe, I think. But you have to take out the very, very strong pilots first. Really good run for fibre on this side of the island. I think actually what I'm seeing, and I'm not sure if it's a thing or not, but you get a lot of loot crates around the enemy bases, the hunter bases. So it's almost as if it's trying to lure you in to then be murdered. But I could be making it up. I'm not sure. While we're here, we are going to get the algae, because 5 algae and a couple of other bits gets rid of this annoying poison that we have, which is capping our health and stamina at 59 out of the 90. And it does make a huge difference in terms of gameplay and also survivability, especially when you come into a gunfight, because that's 1 or 2 bullets extra you can take depending on where you get shot. Unlike the hunters that will obviously have full, because they're not going to have ailments like that, because they seem to be overly kitted out because it's a computer. And carrying on, still harvesting away into the dusk of night. I will, of course, not go directly into the dark. Loading up the shotgun here to make sure I have got some food to go to bed with. This wolf, as I say, 1 shot to the face, and it's all over. Now, that doesn't work all the time on a level 3. It definitely doesn't work at all on a level 4, but so far for me, it's worked every time on a level 1 and 2. There are white wolves as well. I'm not entirely sure if they're different, but it works on those as well. You can't one-shot a bear in the face, though, with a shotgun. Or at least not the first level shotgun. You can upgrade these items in Workbench. So this is just me, again, wandering around. I have no plan other than choosing different direction each day. So usually it's like north, south, and east, because west is straight across the lake. To allow things to respawn, specifically the ores and the trees, which they, from what I'm aware, need a whole day to like reset and allow you to then get the resources from them. But even now, coming back, look, you can see that I walked past some fibre there on the right that I ignored. There's a plant down there on the floor that I ignored as well. I'm seeing them now, but I didn't see them then. So that's at least 2 plants and a whole bush of fibre I missed. But that wasn't there when I left, and as you can see, it's getting dark now, so it's not really good footage for YouTube. So we'll skip to something when it's brighter in the morning, no doubt. Unless something happens, of course. So good morning. Straight out as we mean to go on. And I saw a crate there, so I'm going to grab that for sure. It's September at 3 degrees, so it's not terribly cold. It's reasonable. I suppose it depends on where you're from, actually. Reasonably cold. I mean, I'm obviously from the UK, so 3 degrees ain't no problem for us. Climbing up this hill here, that is one of the grub trees, so that does give us a grub should we need it. And somebody is shooting at me, so this is me panicking because I don't know where it's coming from. Then I realise I've just walked into the enemy base, or at least into their area of it. So I do have the shotgun, but of course it'll only be any good for close range. Using this at any distance is just a waste of the shell, to be honest. You can get the slug shell, which fires out 1 big bullet. That's good at range, but that's not what we've got. They're the blue ones, and these are the red ones, which are the ones that spread. So for the red bullets, you want to be close as possible, and it will do as much damage as possible. Now, I'm itching to get that chest, but I'm not stupid enough to go for a chest while there are people shooting at me, and I am bleeding quite drastically. All of the time my health is going down, and all of the time I'm waiting and hiding here, I am also dying. Suffice to say, you don't want to be dying before you start fighting, right? So let's do a reset and get a bandage. Okay, so we've been back, got a bandage. My health's still low, so yes, I know it's a bit silly, but this game, you know, it makes me want to test my limitations myself. We've managed to sneak up close, and there they are. So a shotgun to the chest, and that guy gets blown across the state. And there we go. So, not loads. Got a couple of bullets back out of him, though. And again, the campfire is to the side there. There's nothing you can do with that, and if there is, please someone tell me, because I would love to get more loots, but I don't think you can. I really want to eat that apple. Yes. And then the base as it stands at the minute is just a simple base with a BCU, no storage or anything, so there's nothing to rob. Now, if I destroy the BCU, as far as I'm aware, they will go forever and respawn somewhere else. Else, tomorrow, they'll be back again and building the base bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm not sure how many hunters, different bases you can have on one map, though, as it stands and recording now and the amount of video I've played up in the future, I know that I get at least 4 bases on the map, 4 separate bases with like 2 hunters in each base, which, I'll be honest, is getting beyond difficult for me, so I'm obviously pretty shit at this game, or I'm missing a trick. You need to let me know which ones, because I'm relying on you guys to help me out as much as I'm helping anyone else out. So, arriving, words are difficult, arriving back at base, with a few items in tow. Again, I'm going out, getting what I can and coming back. I'm trying not to show that. If you want to see it, let me know and I'll leave it in, but I'm pretty sure no one wants to see me chopping wood for hours on end. Specifically aiming to get enough power and mass to make the fire, so the proper fire that fits into the base. It is the same, as far as I'm aware, it's the same as just using the wood burner, but of course it also allows you to render fat into biofuel. And after much deliberation about where the center is, there we go. So yeah, same as the fire, but you can render fat as well. So you treat your fat in the top, holds up to 1,000, and then while it's on, it just turns it into biofuel. And as far as I'm aware, that's the only use for the fat. So the fat that I've accumulated over the game so far, I will chuck straight in there and get that running. And then, of course, we want to get some food cooked as well. I've got a steak I can see in my inventory. But you also need to provide it with fuel, which is the wood. Now, you can use fibre. 65 fibre makes a fuel brick, and that saves you using your wood. But the fibre is equally as difficult to get, it seems. Or, well, the wood's easier to get because it's always where the trees are. It's easier to find, for sure. But you can only get 3 per tree, and it's a nightmare. And I always end up bumping into either a hunter or a bear. So we'll get it lit, the fuel's filled up, so we'll get some food on there, and the fat is rendering nicely, and this is our little base for now. We do have a hole in the ceiling. That's intentional because I didn't have the resources to fill it in. But I do want to look at making it 2-story as soon as possible, on the basis that I can chuck all of the buildings, the sort of the power storage, the mass storage, all of the things I don't want to look at or need to use regularly, I'll chuck them upstairs in the attic, and then all of the things that I use regularly, like the chest and the cooker, will be downstairs. That's my plan anyway. Whether it'll work or not is yet to be seen. And there we go, just finishing off the roof finally. Now I have enough resources, and obviously putting that up there when I do get it to snap, I now know I can use the numpad to turn it round to make sure the wood is facing in the right direction all around. And that is one completed full-story house, and there's my shake of excitement. No door, but I don't think I realised that you could make a door quite yet, but there it is in the top right-hand corner of the crafting, but I haven't quite figured that out yet. And then in terms of windows, I'm pretty sure there aren't any. If there are, somebody let me know. But there is the door. All it needs is a few planks and some nails, and Bob's your uncle. And then abracadabra, and there's the door. Now, don't ask me why the door is so dark to the rest of the house when the rest of it's all made out of exactly the same wood. I promise you it is. But for some reason, the door is made of mahogany. Don't know why that's the thing, but it is. So we'll move on. Back to foraging again, and another one of these crates. Now you can see the base is just down there. That's the original base that we've already been to before. The fire is lit, so I'm assuming somebody is living about there. Now, I only have one shotgun shell, and then the handgun. The handgun's not proving to be the most reliable thing for me to use. But there is a chest down there, which is kind of urging me to want to go in. I don't know why the fire is nowhere near the base. But then it transpires that my base is under attack, and you can see there in the background the flames on my base. Turns out the base that I was just eyeballing and wondering if anybody was there, no, there isn't. They're setting fire to my base. So we need to get there ASAP, but of course you can't ignore the crate, right? I mean, please tell me that you would have done the same. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to run back to my base. But yeah, this base is empty, and that's because they are attacking my base. Now, from what I've seen, they, of course, have more armor, ammo, and everything than we do. They have Molotovs, that's the word I was looking for, and various other things. But nevertheless, I am going to collect what I see on the way back, because I don't know if I'll be back here again. The thunder is coming down, and we're going to make our way over and see if we can ask this person what they are selling. And there is the culprit. Hello, mister. Are you selling double glazing or anything interesting? You are walking past me like I don't exist. That is very rude. I just shot it shotgun in the back and apparently didn't do anything. Now, I did waste 3 bullets there, but to be honest, it's worth a teabag. There we go. I'm going to start teabagging these people that attack my base for no reason. I'm a scrub. We know this. I've said it from the beginning, so let's not be harsh. It took me like what feels like a week to build this base, and then he just comes along and tries to knock it down. It's just rude. Okay, so back at the base, looking for my hammer, because there is some damage, and that damage is repaired with nails and wood. Each hit increases a small amount of the hit points, and uses 1 of each of those resources. So as you can see, we'll get this all the way back up to the 600 maximum resources that it does actually hold. For the record, if anybody can answer me what the lore of this game is in terms of why the hunters are hunting people. Well, I say people, me. I'm not a dog, a wolf, or a bear, so I don't know why they hunt me and nobody else. Just saying. I appreciate that they're hunting the animals as well, and that's great, because when I kill them I get to... Well, if I kill them I get to get their goodies as well. But I don't know why they hate me so much. There's no reasoning behind it, just, you know, sexist. It's because I'm a woman. So far I've only seen blokes. And after a very long day of foraging again, I'm just finishing off the last item here, which is 1 plank to make the refinery, which should allow me to start turning some of these ores that I'm getting and turn them into refined metals to use in further things. So yeah, there we go. That's crafted. Used up all of my power and all of my mass. But yeah, I'll turn my light off because it's daytime, and obviously energy is important. And we'll get that down. Now, I didn't know when I first put it down whether it uses what sort of fuel. It is actually, it uses electric, it uses a laser. So you don't need to find more wood or whatever. And then you just put in your required resource, some upgrades as well, but we're nowhere near those yet. Yeah, required resource, and then click turn on, and the laser will turn the ore into refined metals for you to use. For me, likely, the first things I'm going to be using it for is making some ammo, because I'm struggling for ammo a lot. So that would be a good idea for me. I do have quite a lot of the ore, so it's going to take a while. But it's better to have too much than not enough. So out foraging, farming again, and yeah, you heard it. Now, apparently they've decided that they've got grenades. So running back to my base, and they are indeed blowing it up with grenades. Now, luckily, grenades don't do the sort of damage I would expect them to do against wood, and it's still standing even though 2 grenades have been dropped. There is 1. I do have the range on them with this gun, although the aiming of it's a bit awful. And I've just wasted all of my bullets. Now, this is a perfect example of why I've not used this game, because 6 bullets are like gold dust, and I'm just kind of throwing them away, missing a lot. But at least we can get around. I also left my door open. I missed again. I got him that time. Now, really, I should be trying to gain in with the shotgun. He's going to try and use his rifle on me, which, of course, he made the mistake of running, which allows me to finish him off. Now, of course, I need to collect the goodies from this guy, but it wouldn't be fair if I didn't teabag him. So let's do that. Excellent. And then, of course, yoink the freebies from his backpack. Couple of bullets and 1 shotgun shell. So I'm definitely a net negative there for how many bullets I used to kill them. But I didn't have a choice. There was a stack of my base, and I need my base to stand so I don't freeze my tits off. And then I just decided to do some less exciting, more resting. I've got my fishing rod made. I've got plenty of the grubs from the grub trees to make tackle. So as you can see, I can make, well, I can, because of the sticks, I could probably make about 12, but I made 5. That's enough for now. I mean, 1 tackle is effectively 1 fish, and I can catch as many fish as I like, but I wouldn't be able to keep them fresh, so it's not worth it. So yeah, we're going to do a bit of fishing here and the rest of the day and see what we can catch. But that is time now for the episode, so thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please click like. It lets me know to make more. Subscribe to keep up to date. Again, thank you for watching. Take care. Goodbye.